let's lock in for a Chilling Scares video. 5 most disturbing cases of real found footage.
On January 8th, 2005, a man named Martin discovered a mysterious package in his mailbox. Confused, he brought it inside and opened it up. Inside the package was a single...
Nope. That's why I'm never doing a fucking P.O. box, too. I saw Jinxie's video, and it literally solidified that I'm never doing a P.O. box. I will so continue to do these Timo videos and Amazon videos where you guys can suggest things. What? No, people were sending Jinxie dead animals after the possum joke. Nope. I know one of y'all would do that. And that's why I'm not opening a P.O. box. That. I've been saying, bro, people can be sending me poop, dead animals. Oh, no. Yeah, no, they're trying to get that guy arrested. That's what Jinxie said. But he, like, sent him, like, 5 dead animals, which is just, that's like serial killer shit.
Item. A video...
That's why I would never open those, though. Oh, he just got a VHS tape? Ooh.
A tape with no label or note to explain its contents. Curious to see what was on it, he put it in his camcorder and pressed play. And
what year is this, where he has a VHS recorder? When did he say this was?
On January 8th, 2005, a man...
Okay, 2005, never mind. I was going to say, but he has a VHS fucking cassette player in, like, 2020?
With no label or note to explain its contents. Curious to see what was on it, he put it in his camcorder and pressed play. And the footage he found on it was shocking to say the least. It contained a nearly hour-long video of a man describing the violent things he was about to do. How he was going to lure his victims, and the makeshift devices he was going to use.
I'm not trained.
Why would this guy put the video in this dude's mailbox, though?
In torture methods, which is what I'm gonna have to make do. I got my drill here. The reason why it's got this padding on it is just to try to silence it a bit, because I'm in an apartment.
They're gonna be screaming.
I got gags, socks, got lots of duct tape. I got a soldering iron, sheets. It's rather crude implements. I think can work wonders, especially if it's used in the right way.
However, while the content itself was extremely grim, what disturbed Martin more was the fact that he personally knew the person on screen. This wasn't the manifesto of a serial...
He knew the guy that put this video for him? What, did he, like, confess to it or something? So when he would go to jail, you would see this video?
Killer planning to take innocent lives. Instead, it was the final message of Martin's close friend, Ricky Rodriguez. A man who was tormented by a cult from the moment he was born. He eventually managed to...
this is fucking real.
...escape the cult and was now planning to take revenge on the people who did unspeakable things to him for all those years. He recorded this hour-long video and mailed it to his few friends and family so they would find it and have all the answers about what he was about to do and why.
I am making this video, well, for many reasons, I guess. I suppose the main reason is that I want there to be some record of the way I feel, my ideas, just who I was, really.
But what, is he going to kidnap the people that got him involved in the cult at a young age before he got out and then kill them?
Ricky's story began 30 years earlier on January 25, 1975, when he was born as the first child of Karen Alva Zerby. Karen was a member of a cult called the Children of God, which used Christian language to lure in young, impressionable minds, often teenagers, and molded them to its sick and perverse ideals. 2 years after Ricky's birth, he was adopted by the cult's leader, David Burke, who presented himself as the Chosen One. David changed the cult's name to The Family and declared Ricky to be a religious herald, granting him a special position in the organization. However, while he was treated like royalty by the other members on the surface, behind closed doors, Ricky was the victim of vile acts no child should ever have to endure. David not only encouraged these acts, but went as far as to write a whole book about everything he and his followers did to Ricky, called The Story of DeVito. This abuse continued for many years, but as Ricky got older, he became aware of David's lies and manipulation. Then, in 1999, he finally managed to escape the cult with his girlfriend Alexia Manuel by faking a visit to the cult's compound in Mexico and fleeing to the U.S.
Oh my god. He had to be in that cult till he was like 30 years old, and he had to flee the country.
Instead, reintegration into society after 24 years in an isolated cult was anything but simple. But Ricky somehow managed to pull through and secure a job as an electrician. He also married Alexia and later moved to Tucson, Arizona due to his work. Unfortunately, no matter how hard he tried to move forward, the nightmare he escaped continued to haunt him.
What, and they would try and chase him down and bring him back?
David had passed away in 1994, and the cult was now under the supervision of Karen Zerby, Ricky's mother. And while the cult had managed to escape legal repercussions by mainly operating overseas, Ricky knew that there were still countless children suffering the same fate as him. So, in January of 2005,
was he gonna kill his mom?
He decided enough was enough and took matters into his own hands. Which brings us back to the video he recorded and then mailed to a handful of close friends and his wife. In it, Ricky mentioned his ultimate goal, which was to bring down the cult all on his own. Beyond that, a part of this was also about getting revenge for everything that was done to him.
There's this need that I have. This need, it's not a want, it's a need, and I wish it wasn't, but it is. It's a need for revenge. It's a need for justice. Because I can't go on like this.
In this video, he also laid out his plan for accomplishing this goal. He'd apparently gotten in contact with his previous nanny, Angela Smith, who was among the group that tormented him during his time in the cult. He was going to invite her over for—
But every single person was fucking torturing this guy in the cult, but he was the chosen one? I don't understand what they were using. Like, I understand how cults manipulate people, but how are they perceiving David as this guy that's like, you know, a herald or somebody higher up in their, I guess, religion in their mind, but still abusing him?
Dinner at his apartment in Tucson and make her tell everything she knew about the other members' whereabouts by any means necessary. And that's exactly what he did. On January 8th, after mailing copies of his recording, he invited Angela into his home and proceeded with the plan. It's unclear what information he managed to extract from her before taking her life. He then got into his car and drove to Blythe, California. There, he rented a motel and called his wife to tell her about what he had done and what he was going to do next. However, despite the meticulous planning, Ricky ultimately couldn't follow through with the rest of his plan. On the morning of January 9th, authorities found his car in a parking lot just a few miles from the hotel he was staying at. Ricky was found inside the car as well, where he had taken his own life.
But they can't— Oh. Well, I mean, it's sad he killed himself. It's sad he killed someone. But, like, what this guy had been through is fucking awful. I'm not saying I wanted him to, you know, murder people. But at the same time, it sucks this cult is effectively torturing children, and just being in a different country is—
And while this was
they just can't get that.
Tragic news for his loved ones, it was hardly surprising for his wife. You see, Ricky believed that killing the cultists would bring him peace, something he reiterated in his last video.
I can imagine how I would feel, how liberating it would be.
But that's not what happened. During his call
he didn't feel better at all
with his wife, he confessed that despite his anger and resentment, killing Angela was the hardest thing he had ever done. Taking revenge didn't bring the comfort he was looking for. He couldn't bring himself—
It probably made it worse
to take any more lives,
because then he was so motivated to get that revenge, and then when that revenge didn't give him the reward he just felt 10 times worse.
and decided to end it
Bro said, shut up. All right, I'm a ban your dumb ass.
all that night, leaving his friends and family with this hour-long video to remember him by. As for the family cult, it remains active to this day under the leadership of his mother.
Really? What is the name of this cult again? The Family? The Family Cult Leader. No, what was it called before? The Children of God? The Family International Leader. Yeah, made by David Brandt Berg, but who is the current leader of the cult? What was the woman's name? Till present day, the Love Charter is the family's set governing document that entails each member's rights, responsibilities, and requirements. It's not saying recent teachings. Like, what do they do now? That's crazy, though. The mom birthed him into the cult and then let him get abused. Became the cult leader herself. Fucking awful.
On October 4th, 2006, at approximately 6:15 a.m., the Barrie Police Department received a chilling call from a woman saying, "My children are dead," in a calm and quiet voice. The disconnect between her tone and the situation she was describing was extremely unsettling. When asked what happened, she replied, "I don't know, I don't remember." Police
She kill her kids.
officers immediately rushed to the address she provided and knocked on the door of her apartment, bracing for what they might find. The door opened and they were greeted by 31-year-old Frances Elaine Campione. When the officers asked her about the children she mentioned on her call, she replied in the same disturbingly calm voice, stating, "Yes, they're dead. They're on my bed." As the officer
Isn't it a not common phenomena, but something that happens where new mothers feel an overwhelming urge to murder their kid? Postpartum psychosis is a psychiatric emergency that people have soon after having a child, characterized by hallucinations, paranoia, other behaviors, and a disrupted sense of reality. Thoughts of harming their baby and severe symptoms are, and then it actually has a health line that you can call. I would assume they would take your kid. Conditions are treatable. Seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Oh, yeah, if you're going through that, fucking get help if you want to kill your kid.
officers entered the master bedroom, he saw the remains of two little girls.
Okay, if this is real found footage, though, I cannot show that. Oh, it's her showing the kids prior. Okay.
3-year-old Serena and 19-month-old Sophia lying on the bed. Both were dressed in clean clothes and were also wearing necklaces and earrings. However, their skin was starting to turn blue, suggesting they might have been deceased for quite some time. One of the officers also noticed a small bruise on Sophia's forehead, and that was it. There was nothing else in the room that could have explained their deaths. But as the investigators looked through Elaine's apartment, they found a camcorder with footage that explained everything. The recording started on a wholesome note, showing Elaine surprising Serena with a new bike on her 3rd birthday on August 8th.
Hi, Serena. It's August
Is there a
8th,
dad in the picture, or
2006. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Serena. Happy birthday to you. Serena's 3 today. Yay! Shall we go to
oh
the...
my god, this is so fucking sad. Oh my god, that's so fucking sad. She killed both of her kids. Oh my god, and the way she was singing happy birthday. That's like how every mom sings it.
living room and see if you've got
Like in that exact tone.
any birthday presents from the birthday fairies?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
I have to go.
What is it?
It's a bike.
The next video also showed Elaine and her 2 daughters just hanging around and having fun.
I love you.
This much.
Oh, I love you more than that.
So far, everything looked quite normal. However, the 3rd recording, dated October 2nd, was when things started to get weird. The tone of the recordings instantly changed as Elaine suddenly went on and on about their horrible living conditions and the torment her ex-husband Leo and his family had put her through, said all in front of her children.
You can't see through the camera, boo-hoo. Oh, yes, this is a deplorable, horrible, messy, filthy apartment that supposedly my 2 children and I live in, and it's just a horrible, horrible mess. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look that bad. If I'm being real. There's stuff on the floor, but it looks like a normal family apartment.
I think Diego Campione is totally in the wrong, and I hope he burns in hell for all his sins. The same as Leonardo. All I wanted to do was take care of my 2 little girls and live happily ever after the 3 years of physical, emotional, and mental abuse that I endured tremendously by Leonardo.
I get that. My mom went through a fucking terrible divorce, and she was still a great mother to me. No excuse. Sorry. You could go through a fucking shitty divorce. You care about your kids first and foremost. If you are ever a fucking parent, your number 1 immediate priority becomes your kids, and that's a fucking fact, and that's how it should always be, and that's a fucking good parent. No matter the situation you're going through, your kids might be in a shit situation, but if you're doing all that you can as a parent, that's all that fucking matters.
Campione, and then the past
Sucking blaming. Yeah, I understand being mad at them, and you could be mad at the dad. You could be mad at the situation. You could be mad at what they're putting you through, but you still just fucking push.
year from Anna and Diego Campione, the
Like, now I'm getting mad. Killing your fucking kids ain't the answer.
mental and
This
emotional
ain't even no postpartum shit. This is just the mom wanting to get out of a fucking shit situation. This actually pisses me off.
abuse, which wouldn't stop, and I had CAS keep bringing these two people into my life over and over again when I kept telling them the amount of mental and emotional abuse it was causing my 3-year-old daughter Serena and I and Sophia. It was horrible and uncalled for, and I want justice to my family for what they have all done to us. I cried out for help. They should have.
Leo was apparently extremely abusive, both physically and mentally. He prevented her from contacting her parents and at one point even kicked her in her stomach while she was pregnant. This resulted in Leo getting charged with domestic violence and the two getting divorced. However, at the time of this recording, Leo was starting to turn things around and was engaged in a legal battle with Elaine over the custody of their daughters. This took an immense toll on Elaine's mental health. She was already quite unstable and had been to the psych ward twice.
Yeah, and that fucking sucks. And like, I'm sorry if anyone, including her, had to go through that. But it's like, the solution is fight for your fucking kids. Fight for custody of your fucking kids. If you care about your kids, you fight for the custody of your kids. You don't fucking kill your children.
In the past couple of years. But according to her mother, the custody battle caused her to lose it completely and develop severe paranoia. She became worried that Leo would one day show up and forcibly take her daughters away. Then, on October 2nd, after ending this recording at 8:39 p.m.
So she killed her children?
Elaine did the unthinkable by taking the lives of her own daughters, then recording a haunting confession that investigators discovered on the same camera.
Oh my god, this is after?
Because Leo, there, are you happy? Everything is gone. You wouldn't give peace. You wouldn't tell the truth. I begged. You even had Stacy not believing me till he...
Yeah, no, that's fucking terrible. You killed your children! Like, the husband is, yeah, he's a fucking asshole. He's a terrible person. What the fuck?
I had to sign papers when I didn't. I went to victim witness to get the truth. Trying, begging everyone the truth. How you beat me for 3 years behind closed doors. Beat me when I was pregnant with Serena and Sophia. You didn't care about our babies. You didn't care about me. You cared about yourself. You wanted to win. You won. Are you happy? How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel? Because it doesn't make me feel great.
Her trying to pin this and being like, they're dead because of you. Like, what the fuck? This is just like, kill your children, play the victim card. Like, yes, she went through terrible shit and she did originally get justice for that. And then he had a legal battle, and I'm agreeing that they shouldn't have had the custody of the kid. But then you kill the kid and go, are you happy now?
I've lost everything my whole life.
At this point, the camera cut to a later...
Gives a fuck you lost everything. You killed your kids. The only thing that matters in your fucking life is your goddamn kids now. You're a fucking mom. You're a fucking mother.
point where Elaine attempted to take her own.
I tried to overdose.
That means remodeling time at their Aurelia and Bracebridge stores. They are changing the displays. Now is the time to make a great deal on an Ontario-made hydro-cooled hot tub. In stock models, floor models, or custom orders, everything has a sale price. Pool Spa Sauna Showroom, making waves in Aurelia, Bracebridge, and soon to be in Huntsville. You can also check them out on the web at poolspasaunashowroom.com.
Elaine was arrested on the spot and was later charged with murder, with the found footage in her home serving as crucial evidence against her. She was ultimately sent.
I don't understand the motive to kill them, is where I'm not following at all. Like, I understand she had been to the psych ward twice. I understand what she had gone through. But in what scenario is killing your kids the best option? Even the only option? None. That's never a scenario where that's the best option.
Sentenced to life in prison.
She was thinking, if I can't have them, then you can't either. Yeah, I think it's like, you know, when like people get obsessed with somebody and they're like, if I can't have you, no one can, and then they kill them, like stalker psychos, like similar. Like, where it's like, if I'm going to lose my kids, then you can't have them either.
With the possibility of parole after 25 years. Years ago, the Bureau of Land Management published a public service announcement dubbed Stay Out and Stay Alive, educating viewers about the countless dangers of exploring abandoned mines, including the very real risk of cave-ins, volatile explosives, wild animals, and entire sections without oxygen. However,
I mean, yeah, dude, snakes alone. Don't snakes kill like 1 million people every fucking year? Like, that shit's scary. Going in abandoned areas where snakes are. How many people die to snakes? Between 81,000... Oh, no, I'm off. Between 81,000 and 138,000 people die each year from snake bites. That's still a shitload. 1.8 to 2.7 million people experience snake bite venom and suffer severe or permanent disabilities.
the most chilling part of the video was the story and the accompanying found footage of an accident that had occurred years earlier. On July 4th, 1998, a group of young men found an abandoned mine in Nevada and decided to explore it for fun. Though, surprisingly, the boys seemed acutely aware of the mistake they were making right from the start.
As you see Briz pointing out, stay alive. It's a good point, but we're not too smart, so we're gonna go anyway.
This is an unsafe mine. Danger.
Oh, wow. And then they die?
And the allure of exploring a place untouched for decades was too tempting for them to ignore.
On the 4th of July?
However, the deeper they went into the mine, the more dangerous it became, with the boys walking over sketchy wooden bridges to continue their journey. They even found signs of the mine caving in, but chose to ignore those signs just to venture deeper.
And even, dude, even if this wasn't, like, marked as unsafe, this is an old mine shaft, and they're tightrope walking on old wooden boards. Like, what if this was dry rotted, and you just fell through? That's why, like, abandoned building, like, you know, exploration people, what is it called? There's, like, a name for that. Like, abandoned exploration. What is that called? Urbex. Yeah, Urbex is, like, safe if done by the right people and with the right knowledge, but, like, you could walk into an abandoned building that just collapses on top of you. Not, like, naturally, but, like, you being there disrupts whatever it is because it's so old.
Caving in, but chose to ignore those signs just to venture deeper.
If you look at all this, there's lots of rocks and stuff that have fallen from the ceiling, which indicates that probably not a good idea to be walking this way. And,
Well, they've already fallen, so they're not gonna fall again.
well, there's more to fall still.
An important thing to keep in mind is that these weren't professionals with prior experience of safely exploring abandoned mines. This was just a group of boys looking to do something cool and film the
And had never been down here before.
adventure. They could have easily plunged to their deaths down a 1,000-foot mine shaft or gotten lost in the miles-long maze of tunnels, which started looking more and more likely as time went on.
Yeah, we gotta remember.
Yeah, they're like not marking their tracks, you know? If I was going in this cave for the first time, wouldn't you bring like string or like something to mark walls? Like it just like pans out to like 3 different like possible tunnels, and that happens every fucking 100 feet. Like eventually you're gonna forget where the hell you are.
Remember where we're. Okay, we got out here.
Who painted these X's in clip? Grant. What do they mean? Dead ends and stuff. Okay, they're all got an X on. They all do
Oh my god, are they lost?
This way. That one's got an X. So it's also got that. What does the diamond mean?
Where's that go?
Goes down.
Along there.
Ooh, that's not a little. Well, it'd be kind of hard if you slipped and fell. You could catch yourself before you actually fell down that. Not if panic set in and you spin like a little girl.
Toxic gases and radioactive elements could have also caused
Yeah, they could just walk into a room full of fucking gas, spores, some other shit.
serious health issues down the line, if not immediately. Fortunately, they somehow managed
And only one of them has a hard hat. They're all just walking in raw.
to avoid all of these dangers and make their way fairly deep into the mine. But then they came across something that could have ended all of their lives in one fell swoop.
Got some pipes. Oh, wow. We have to climb that?
Yeah, don't everybody get up. I got it. You're gonna be the lucky one to fall. This is going to America's Funniest when somebody falls.
That's a good idea.
I don't know if it'll go to America's Funniest Home Videos. This is, if you fell, you die.
Alrighty. Oh, that's on the table. Don't put.
And then, like, dude, what if one of them did fall? Like, you know how fucking traumatizing that would be? Now you have to get out of the fucking cave. You just watched your friend fucking fall to his death.
I hope the ropes.
While crossing a sketchy section of the mine, one of the boys noticed a rope dangling down from one of the wooden beams and immediately became curious about whatever was down
No!
there.
It's down to the main shaft.
Wow, so we're climbing down this rope.
Yeah. How far down? How
Bro!
are we getting out of it?
climbing up it?
I see.
They had little rope
How do they know they have the fucking strength to do that, let alone the rope fucking strength itself to hold all their weight?
climbing experience between them. However, they didn't let
Outside of fucking gym class.
that stop them from accomplishing their desires. The guy named Adam decided to be the first one to descend, resulting in this.
How far down does it go?
All
It's
the
gonna
way down
snap.
to that ladder. See where it's going down?
Or
Like a good 30 feet.
where am I gonna hook this
I'll go
camera?
first. I am. About 300 feet.
Oh, I thought it snapped.
like where to go. Put it like he's doing it in your mouth. Yeah. It's all like this. Is it off now? No, it's not.
How am I gonna get this thing down there?
Dude, my heart is racing.
Yeah, but how am I gonna get back up? I don't have.
Take that. Give you my belt. Stretch on it. Adam! Oh! Adam! Oh. Adam! Yes. Adam! Oh, God.
Oh God! Somebody help!
Adam!
The rope Adam chose to trust was completely worn and gave way shortly after putting his weight on it. This caused him to plunge 65 feet down a dark mine shaft and lose consciousness. Luckily, none of the damage he took on his way down was immediately lethal. He was still breathing.
He was alive?
His friends were able to find an exit and contact the authorities, who eventually rescued Adam after an
Oh my god.
hours-long rescue mission. Ultimately, them escaping the mine without any casualties was nothing short of a miracle. The mine shaft could have easily been over 100 feet deep, or Adam could have just as easily hit his head on the
Yeah, fucking landed on his neck and died.
surrounding wall. Both of these scenarios would have resulted in his death. What's even worse is that the whole group could have gotten stranded in the shaft if the rope broke
Or if they got panicked and then fucking like they get panicked, they don't remember how to find their way out.
when the last person was going down. With no way to contact the outside world, the group would have likely died of starvation. Fortunately, they were able to walk away from this terrifying experience with just a few broken bones
Yeah, as fucked as that is, that was literally, if they were gonna go down, that was the best scenario. Because if they all got down and then one guy's going up and it breaks, it's like, now you're just fucking stuck down there.
along with cuts and scratches.
Unless there was some capability to climb back up.
On the 25th of February 2022, the Perea Fuel Company hired maintenance workers to reopen one of the underwater pipes connecting their oil unloading dock and refinery. The operation team included 5 men: Christopher, Kazim, Yusuf, Rishi, and Faisal. They were going to use a pressurized habitat to inspect the pipe and make any necessary repairs. However, shortly after entering this habitat, all 5 men disappeared from the worksite, leaving those on the surface to wonder what could have happened. It wasn't until rescuers found footage from a GoPro mounted to one of the divers' suits that the full truth came to light. The footage showed the men struggling to open the valve keeping the pipe shut, prompting Kazim to go get a wrench. He returned to the habitat and handed the wrench over to his co-workers. But then, a few seconds later, this happened.
Dude, underwater welding and just having to be somebody that works on either heavy equipment or deep underwater or on fucking electrical things, fucking the worst jobs ever. I'll scan it. The worst jobs ever. That's why, don't underwater welders make, $200,000 a year? They make good money, but it's, fucking dangerous as shit. It's a hard job. You're usually away from your fucking family. It doesn't look like it's going to be TOS. I would assume it either implodes or he loses consciousness. It's not really showing anything. Chilling Scares videos usually are not TOS. I mean, this video is very low quality. What just happened?
The moment the valve was opened, its low pressure created a powerful vacuum. Water
and it sucked him into it?
rushed into the habitat, while the pressurized air violently forced everyone into the pipe. All 5 of the men were forced into the 30-inch wide pipe, faster than they could blink. After tumbling through the metal pipe at violent
I'm very confused. So this is the pipe and they just got shot inside of it?
speeds for a minute and a half,
30 inches. How did all 5 of them?
they came to a stop at a section containing a small air pocket, just enough to keep them alive, allowing them a brief moment to find their bearings and assess the gravity of their situation.
Oh my god, it's pitch black.
All of them were barely breathing, and one of them had also injured his leg. And while the air pocket was keeping them alive for the moment, it wasn't going to last very long. So, with no other option, the 2 men at the front
Wait, so where did they enter the pipe? Like somewhere at the bottom and then it shot them up and they had to crawl upward?
and Christopher and Faisal started moving forward in hopes of reaching the pipe's end and getting help for the other 3. But after making their way through several flooded sections, Faisal lost hope and refused to go any further. This left Christopher to continue alone and ultimately reach the end of the pipe, where he was eventually pulled out by rescuers. Unfortunately, the same did not happen for his 4 coworkers.
No, if they all went through, would they have made it?
Days passed and the rescue efforts were slim to none, eventually leaving the other 4 to die in that cramped metal tube. The company's CEO later defended this decision, stating that a rescue mission would have only endangered more lives. The incident sparked widespread outrage and even forced the region.
I mean, couldn't they cut into the pipe in some way to try and get them out of it? I don't understand how that would have...
government to launch an inquiry into how such a disaster was allowed to happen in the first place.
Yeah.
But as is the case with countless similar incidents, nothing much came of it, despite the numerous hearings. The other 4 divers were left for dead.
Wait, so which one lived?
That said, the Trinidad government did announce a compensation of $1 million for each of their families, as well as Christopher, in April 2025.
Oh my god, and all 4 of your fucking coworkers and friends die. You're the only one that makes it out. Like, that's always that shit. I'm not saying, like, oh, it would be better to be dead. Because it would, like, obviously, you know, getting out of that would be obviously the best and only scenario. But getting out alive and just having survivor's guilt, like being the last person in the plane crash in India, being the only person that gets out on a boat, the only person that survives a shooting or a war or a battle, like, fuck, dude. Oh.
On April 28, 2000, 22-year-old Russian diving instructor Yuri Lipsky decided to reach the depths of the Blue Hole in Dahab, Egypt.
Oh my god, I think we saw a video about this.
This was a risky plan from the get-go, since the Blue Hole is widely regarded as the deadliest diving site in the world, with as many as 200 fatalities in recent years.
And then why were people going back down?
To make matters worse, before his dive...
Oh no, is this the video that I showed chat where the guy loses consciousness, or no, like he thinks he's swimming up, but he's actually just floating down and he hits the bottom of the fucking blue hole?
Yuri asked a local technical diver to accompany him on his journey. All of them rejected him, since the preparations for this risky of a dive took as long as a week. Yet Yuri wanted to go in just 2 days.
No, I don't think this is it.
No matter what. Even after every instruction...
What? I'm talking about a video... Wait, let me scan to see if this is it. Oh, no, this is it. No, this is the video. I've showed this.
refused to support his...
I've showed that this is fucking terrifying.
plan.
This is the worst one out of all of them.
Instead of backing out, Yuri made the worst mistake of his life and chose to go through with it alone. He started the dive around noon and quickly disappeared into the depths of the ocean.
Because, like, when you're really deep in the ocean, you don't... Getting, you know, oriented on what's up and down is really hard. And I think he mixed the, like, nitrogen and oxygen in his tank wrong, which started to make him hallucinate slightly. And he thought he was swimming sideways across the rocks while he's scuba diving, but he's actually going down. And it got to the point where when you're so deep in the ocean, you are actually unable to swim up because you weigh so much and there's so much pressure on you that you're stuck down there. And he's just, like, literally just waiting to die.
However, many hours passed and there was no sign of Yuri anywhere. His concerned mother enlisted the help of a local technical diver named Tariq Omar, who immediately set out to rescue her son. Unfortunately, by the time he found Yuri, it was already too late. Tariq discovered Yuri's lifeless body floating near the floor of the Blue Hole. The next day, he returned with the necessary equipment to bring Yuri's body back to the surface and got to work. But as he was about to take Yuri back, he noticed that Yuri's diving camera was lying nearby. So he grabbed that as well and began ascending. This camera had captured the final moments of Yuri in haunting detail.
Oh, this is already when he's at the bottom. Like, if you could watch the full YouTube video of this, it cuts off well before he dies. But it's like, you can see him casually snorkeling, like, not that far deep, and it just gets darker and darker. And it is fucking scary. We'll actually just watch it. And I'll scroll through it. Yuri scuba diving blue hole. It's like a 9-minute or 10-minute video. Here it is, 7 minutes. Like, he's not alone at the start. There's other people that are scuba diving with him. And, like, this is where he's near the surface. You can see there's a bunch of fish. And he starts just swimming. And he kind of ventures off alone. And you think he looks like he's swimming sideways. But he's actually swimming down. And as he goes deeper, it's darker and darker. And he's going, oh, fuck. And he's just stuck on the bottom. I think he faints. Or he tries to, like, swim up, but he can't. Because he's just so deep. How deep is the blue hole? 115 meters. 22-year-old Russian diving instructor in 2000 went 115 meters. So that's, whatever, 300 feet.
Many other divers. However, it wasn't long before everyone else faded from view as he started to descend deeper into the blue hole. And that's when all the worst possible things started happening in rapid succession. It started with him failing to keep his gas levels under check, resulting in him getting nitrogen poisoning and becoming extremely disoriented. By the time he realized his situation, he was already sinking like a rock.
Yeah, 377 feet. How do you put that in perspective? Like, how tall, how many stories is 377 feet? That'd be a 35-story building. It's taller than the Statue of Liberty. So he went that deep and didn't realize until, like, almost when he was at the bottom.
He started panicking and began inflating his buoyancy control device quickly to avoid sinking any further. Tragically, this backfired. The buoyancy control device bursted due to the rapidly increasing pressure, leaving Yuri no way of safely returning to the surface.
And then you're like, what way is up? Oh my god, no.
Struggling to breathe, ending with him sinking to the 377 feet or 115 meters deep sea floor and passing away. The only silver lining in this whole situation is that there's a good chance the found footage helped at least one diver avoid a similar fate by learning from the mistakes that cost Yuri his life.
I also think in scenarios like this, this should be a banned diving site. I understand it's like some people just aren't taking the necessary precautions, and that's like, you know, preventable stuff. But when like 200 plus people are dying here, that's like, you need to not allow other people to go there. Like, that's just unsafe. It was a good video.